And without further ado, I'm going to hand this over to our Air Resources Engineer, Bo Yan. Bo, take it over.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Great. Thank you, Yatun, for the introduction, and good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Welcome to our tutorial webinar. Many of you have already been familiar with the innovative Clean Transit reporting tool, or ICTRT in short. And the transit agencies had completed their first reporting last year using this tool. Thank you all for your great efforts. As Yatun just mentioned, during the past several months, we have added new modules to this tool and made some changes to some other modules. In today's webinar, we're going to demonstrate these new features and changes and show you how to use them for this year's annual reporting. Let's start the webinar with introducing ourselves. My name is Bo Yan. I'm an air resource engineer within the zero emission truck and bus section. I'm presenting the slides today and we'll walk you through the updated ICTRT. With me is my manager, Yatun Cho, and my teammates, Shireen Bafjani, Jinguo, and Osman Ali. Together, we will be answering questions to provide you a smooth reporting. Slide number 2, please. This slide shows the topics we're going to discuss today. We are starting the presentation with some simple housekeeping items. Then we will briefly review what ICTRT is, inform you about the reporting timeline, and discuss which documents you have to retain in order to fulfill the record-keeping requirements. After that, we will go through together the available modules in the reporting tool to learn about their functionalities. We will conclude this webinar with answering your questions. Please note that we will not go over the registration or sign up procedure today. If any transit agency needs to add new users to access the reporting tool, please refer to A11 in the appendix of the guidance document, or watch the recording of last year's ICTRT webinar. Of course, you always can reach out to us for help. Slide number 3, please. Here are some housekeeping items. This webinar is being recorded. The recording will be available 1 or 2 weeks after this webinar on the ICT meetings and workshops page. Other related materials, such as the slides of this presentation and the updated ICTRT guidance document, I already posted, as Yasun just mentioned it, the links in the chat. I want to mention that the microphones of all attendees have been muted during these webinars to minimize background noise, but you may submit questions or comments at any time in the chat box. My colleague Jinguo will be sorting out the questions for the question answer session. We will try to answer all of the questions, but just in case, if we are unable to do so, or if you have any follow-up questions, please feel free to email us. The email address is shown on this slide. Next slide, please. Now let's have a quick review of the ICTRT to refresh our memories. ICTRT is a web-based platform for transit agencies to electronically submit their transit data to comply with the reporting requirements of the ICT regulation. The link to this reporting tool is provided on this slide. This tool allows CARB to track transit fleet information, check zero emission bus deployment status, and enforce the ICT regulation. This ICTRT was officially launched on April 28, 2021, with limited modules that were essential for the 2021 initial reporting. Now, more modules and features have been added to facilitate the annual reporting of 2022 and on. Slide number 5, please. This slide shows the available modules in ICTRT. The box on the left shows the modules that are view only for transit agencies. This means transit agency can view the information under these modules, but will not be able to add anything or make any changes. Modules listed on the right are accessible to transit agencies to add or edit data. Please note that the fuel contracts module is only available to large transit agencies. Slide number 6, please. This slide shows the screenshot of the transit agency detail page in the reporting tool. On this page, you can see the 9 modules. For small transit agencies, the users will only see 8 of them, excluding fuel contracts module, which is only applicable to large transit agencies, as we just mentioned. We will walk you through each of them in a moment. Slide number 7, please. Reporting is mandatory for all transit agencies, regardless of size, and it is annually. Annual reporting requirements have started last year and it goes through 2050. For this year's reporting, we keep the reporting site open until July 1st, 2022, to provide transit agencies adequate time to report. Slide number 8, please. On this slide, we want to remind you about another ICT regulatory requirement, which is the record keeping. Transit agencies must ensure the reported data is correct and accurate, and they retain relevant documents to back the reported data. In addition, transit agencies must retain the following records: documents related to purchase, lease, rent, conversion, and the outsource of any new or used bus, vehicle registration and the proof of delivery, fuel contracts if you are a large transit agency. If a transit is in a zero emission mobility program, records of zero emission passenger miles generated under the program must be retained as well. Records must be retained at least for 3 years after the bus is retired or sold to another entity. In case of fuel contracts, records must be retained 3 years after the fuel contract is expired. Transit agencies must make these records available to CARB in case of an audit. Slide number 9, please. This slide summarizes all resources you may need for this year's reporting. For smooth reporting, please make sure you read the reporting guidance document first before you start. This document is designed in a question and answer format and has the answers for some of your potential questions. This document provides detailed instructions on each module or features. So when you encounter an issue,
it's $4,000.
Excuse me, okay, thank you. This document provides detailed instructions on each module or feature. So when you encounter an issue, please refer to this document first. Of course, you always can contact us for help. Our contact information is provided on this slide as well. Slide number 10, please. We're now done with the presentation portion. Before walking you through the actual reporting tool, let's answer some of the questions you may have. I think if you have any question, you may raise your hand or put the question in the chat.
Jean, would you please let us know if there's any question in the chat box, or we don't see anyone raising your hand.
I didn't see any questions in the chat box either. Oh, there's one new message. Hold on. Okay. Oh, none at this time. Thank you.
Okay.
If no question, I think I'm going to share my screen. We're going to walk through that reporting site.
Okay, so Sean, you want to, okay, you just raised your hand.
Thanks. Just a quick question. If we've already entered all, we've already entered all of our fleet information from last year. If we don't really have many or any changes for this year, are there many things that we will have to add, new data that you're requesting from an existing fleet standpoint overall?
So I'm going to take on this question because this is the only question that I know answer about. If your fleet did not change last year, meaning you don't have any new vehicle delivered or you don't have any vehicle retired last year, that your fleet is the same, then the only thing you have to do is go to the bus purchase module and click on no new purchase, if that's also the case. If you did have new purchase last year, then you will have to report that new purchase. Otherwise, there's nothing you need to do on the bus information modules. And if you're a large fleet, you will have to update your fuel contract information there. If you're a small fleet, the fuel contract module is not available to you. You don't have to do anything. Did that answer your question?
Thank you, yeah.
Okay.
Actually, we just received a question from David in chat. He asked, the current reporting year is for 2021, correct? It's from June 30th, 2020 to July 1st, 2021.
This is a very good question. Thanks, Jean, and thanks, David. So no, the reporting year is based on calendar year instead of fiscal year. So for this year, we need everyone to report the entire 2021 data. So basically, the status you will give us is your fleet status on December 31st last year. Okay.
There's no more questions in chat.
Okay, thanks, Jean. And I also don't see any raised hand. So with that, Bo, you want to go ahead to start the walkthrough?
Yeah, sure. Okay, I was going to share my screen. I'm going to log into. Can you all see my screen?
But we can only see the Word file.
Word file?
Yeah.
So not, oh, that's.
No, we are not seeing your ICTRT website.
Oh, let me stop share, reshare. That's what I think what I did. Let me see.
Yeah, we're still only seeing the Word document.
Okay, let me open it. How about now?
Yeah. Now we see it. Yes, okay. We're good to go.
So this is that website of the reporting tool. This will be slightly different from what you will see. I'm using this like UAT site as a demonstration, but you can log into the real production site. I'm going to log in as a transit agency. I have like a fake account. So after logging, you will get into this main interface page. On the top navigation bar, there is a transit agency menu. Click this. You will see the name of your transit agency. So I have a, picked like a transit agency name here. So it's to facilitate like a walkthrough. So click this name. Will lead you to that transit agency detail page, what we just showed like a moment ago. Here you can see the 9 or 8 modules that are available to you. Large transit agencies will see all 9, and the small transit agency will only see 8, excluding this field contracts module. I will start with 3 important but also interconnected modules. The bus purchase, newly delivered buses, and a bus information module. Transit agencies are required to report bus purchase information for each year. After bus purchase information is entered, it will be automatically populated onto a spreadsheet under the newly delivered buses module. By using this spreadsheet, transit agency can report the information of buses that have been delivered under each purchase contract. The information of the reported delivered buses will be automatically added to this bus information module. Therefore, there is a good reason that we first report the bus purchase information, then newly delivered buses, and lastly, to update the bus information on the bus information module. Now I will walk you through these 3 modules in this order. So let's start with bus purchase. We just click this button. You will leave. Under this module, the first thing you would see is this list of bus purchase page. If your transit agency reported a bus purchase last year, the information will be shown here. For example, this transit agency reported like 10 buses that's purchased last year. 6 of them is on the contract 2021 BP number 1. 6 of them, of these 6 are like 0 emission buses. And another contract they reported is like 4 conventional buses. So this is for last year. For this year's reporting, if your transit agency did not purchase any bus, simply click this small box here and next to no new purchase for year 2021. So it will show, okay, no purchase for this year. But if your transit agency did purchase buses, new buses, you can click this add bus purchase here to input contract information, such as this bus contract type is notice to proceed, purchase agreement, or lease agreement. So choose one, okay, with this, and put the contract number. For example, we have 2021 bus purchase number 1. The contract effective date. Okay, this contract was initiated like 2021, March 2nd. So this contract information is done. Then we need to add the bus under this contract. Click add. Then we'll go to add bus purchase. So another click here, add bus purchased. So this window will pop up. So it's easy to follow. So first I will ask you, is this a 0 emission bus or conventional bus? Or if it's a 0 emission bus, is this bus is converted? So you can select, okay, now we have 0 emission bus. So is this bus new or used? Okay, they're used. So what's the bus type? All this like articulated over the road, standard, cutaway, double decker. Okay, we suppose we have standard bus. And a 0 emission bus fuel type. There are 2 types. One is hydrogen fuel cell like an electrical bus. Another one is battery electric bus. Okay, here, this transit agency decided to buy hydrogen fuel cell electric bus and expected delivery dates. And so this was, for example, the expected delivery date is, let's see. For example, it's October 24th, 2021. So if the bus is already delivered, you can put the actual delivery date. For example, if you have used the bus, it can be delivered quickly. The quantity of the bus, okay, under this contract, we have another 3 buses. Okay, now we can save it. Now this bus is added here. So if you have buses that with different configurations to add under the same contract, simply repeat this process by clicking this add bus purchased to fill the necessary information. But if your transit agency had another purchase contract, for example, with another manufacturer, it may get out of here and to do here to add another contract information to repeat the whole process. So now we go back to see here. You can see that the bus we just purchased is already added to that list. So now we totally have 6 plus 4 plus the new purchased 3. So totally have 13 buses. So far, is there any questions?
I don't see any raised. Oh, yes, I do see one raised hand.
Hi, I have a question regarding the expected delivery date and the actual delivery date information that is being requested. So if you input an expected delivery date, that being in 2021, and the actual delivery is in 2022, so do you go back, do you input the same information in the 2022 report to show the actual delivery date? I'm just trying to understand if you go back to this report to imply that information later.
Yeah, yes, for this, for example, when you report at the time when you report, if the bus is already delivered, we will like walk you through next module how to report these buses. But when you report, at the time when you report when the bus still not delivered, but the delivery date is delayed, we will also show you how to do that, to update that information.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So now
we have one question from the chat. It's from Victor. And he asked, once a purchase order is created for a bus purchase, the buses should be reported?
Yes, if it is like this contract is created in 2021. So
there's no more questions in chat.
Okay, then I'll move on. Okay. Now let's move on to the newly delivered buses. You know, people have questions on this one, so you will get answers on this one. Let's click this. This module allows transit agencies to report the information of each purchased bus once it is delivered. Transit agencies can also update the expected delivery date or the quantity of the buses purchased in case there has been any delay or cancellation since the purchase. First, let me explain briefly what is the meaning of outstanding. The outstanding means the bus have been purchased but have not been delivered to your transit agency yet. For example, on this page, you will see the purchases here. For example, for this 6 purchases, did last year, there's all of them are showing like outstanding. But for 2 of the buses, the delivery date has been delayed, transit agency can update this information. For example, these two hydrogen fuel cell bus have been delayed. Instead of like August 11, this expected is not delivered. It's delivered to this year. So by click this bus purchase detail, you will see two buttons here. One is cancel buses, another one is add a new expected delivery date. Now this delivery date has been changed, delayed. So we can click this button, input the new information. For example, okay, it's moved to March 25th here. And the two of them are delayed. So we can click save. So now this information is already updated here. See, the quantity delayed is 2. So this new delivered data is also given here. But this one that changes the number of the outstanding buses. So we move up here, like another example, this transit agency reported like that they purchased like 4 conventional buses last year. But the transit agency canceled 2 of them several months ago. Now the transit agency should update this information. To do so, we click this bus purchase details. We click this cancel buses, then just put the number that have been canceled. Okay, now this bus has been canceled, and you also notice that the outstanding number is already subtracted by 2. So previously it was 4, now only 2 left. So this transit agency now has totally how many? Like 3, 3, 6 plus 2, 8, 8 plus 3. So totally have 11 buses to be delivered, including what just reported like for last year. Now let's move on to how to report the information of buses that have been delivered under the reported bus purchase contracts. The reporting tool provides us a spreadsheet to do so. On this same page, you can see this, click this download the bus delivery template. You open it, you will see it's in like an Excel spreadsheet. Okay, oops, what happened? Can you still see my screen?
Oh, we cannot, we can only see yourself.
Oh,
I think you have to share it again.
Okay, sorry, I accidentally clicked it. Can you see it now?
Yes.
Okay. I need to move this. This is blocking. I need to click this enable edit. Okay. Okay, here it is. So we got this spreadsheet. First thing I would do is I will save this spreadsheet onto computer, on my computer. By a quick look, we may like notice 2 things easily. One, there are total like 11 buses listed on this spreadsheet belonging to different purchase contracts. Like say, some belongs to 2020 purchase contract and some belongs to that contract we just added. And these 11 buses is consistent with what we just observed. Another thing we can notice is that there are 2 different colors here. The blue columns on the left are pre-populated based on the data reported on the bus purchase module. The transit agency the user will not be able to make any changes on these cells. Even I cannot do it, so you will not be able to do it. The orange columns on the right of the spreadsheet are those that need to be filled by a transit user. These parameters on the right are very similar to those used in the spreadsheet transit agency used last year to build the bus inventory. And the descriptions of each column is provided in the guidance document, like a question 3-2. But I will go through each one of them quickly, so to show you how to fill this spreadsheet and upload back to that reporting tool. Let's start with this, for example, this bus. Okay, we use this bus as an example. This is a hydrogen fuel cell bus. It's already delivered. Okay, the actual delivery date is, for example, October 23rd, 2021. And the VIN number. This VIN number needs to be 17 characters exactly. Otherwise, it will give you error message. License plate. Everyone has one. Some transit agencies use their internal transit agency vehicle ID system to identify or track the vehicles. If applicable, put the number here. Otherwise, leave it blank. So bus ownership type. Okay, there is a drop-down list here. You can choose from own, lease, rent, or contract out. Okay, the transit agency owns this bus. And the bus make. For example, this is a new Flyer bus. And what's the model? Okay, it's XHE40. Bus length, for example, 40 feet. Please note that only put the numbers, no unit, please. Otherwise, it will give error message. And if the chassis is provided by another manufacturer, just put the name here. Otherwise, leave it blank. So if the bus is like a zero emission bus, the bus fuel type and the propulsion technology on this column, AA and the W, are pre-populated, so you don't need to do anything. If this zero emission bus is converted from conventional bus, we need to provide the conversion year. Here is a bus GVWR. Let's see. For this one, you only need to put the numbers, and these numbers need to be like 14,001 or greater, and no unit should be added. But here, I will purposely leave this unit here. So, and when I try to upload, error message will come up. I will show you what the error message would be like and how that would help you to solve the issue. Okay, this bus was manufactured in 2021. And the bus date in service. Okay, we received the bus in October, and this was put into service in December. If the bus is a conventional bus, we also need to fill the following several columns like engine manufacturer, engine model year, engine family name, and the engine cylinder displacement size. So all these fields need to be filled for conventional buses. But here, since this is a zero emission bus, we don't need to fill anything here. If you're like an agency has CNG buses from 2016 or later, most likely you may have low NOx engine buses. And this needs to be, if in that case, this needs to be like selected from the drop-down list, like yes. To help you determine that, we provided a list of available low NOx engines for open bus applications in table 1 in that guidance document. You may find the relevant information in that table, including engine family name, low NOx certificate standard for this column, and also low NOx executive order number for column AJ. But since here is not applicable, so we just selected no. And you don't need to fill anything here. And now enter that zip code that bus is dispatched. Okay, let's see, dispatch in this location. And battery electric buses, fuel cell electric buses, and hybrid buses all have onboard battery packs. The battery rated capacity information need to be inputted here in this column. So, and this is like a New Flyer fuel cell electric bus. So the battery capacity is about 100 kilowatt hour. So again, all these input numbers only, no unit. So if the bus is electric bus, battery electric bus, we also need to provide that charging strategy type. But since this is a fuel cell electric bus, it's not applicable. So, and the fuel cell system manufacturer, okay, this is for example, Ballard. And for this one, system module, let's see, okay, it's heavy duty, velocity 85. This one AP, the fuel cell system rated power. This is like indicating what's the power level of the fuel cell stack. So for example, it's 585 kilowatt. This is different from that battery capacity we just mentioned on this column. You can find this information from the specifications of the product. So here we can put the mileage radio of the bus. For example, we have this many miles, and then put the rating date. For example, okay, we took this one the last year. Next one is like starting this year, when it comes to diesel or diesel hybrid bus purchase and delivery, the information in the last two columns here needs to be entered. If the bus is purchased with a CARB approved exemption and the omnibus regulation, and the bus is already delivered, please select the yes here, and also provide the engine serial number here. But since this bus is like zero emission bus, doesn't applicable, so we select no, and we don't need to fill anything here. Just as like Yatun just mentioned during introduction, we recently held a webinar and provided a guidance document as well regarding this. So you may also find the relevant information on our website. So now we have filled all the necessary information for this bus. And if you have other buses to fill, for example, all these buses need to fill it, repeat the process until it's done. Now I'm going to save this spreadsheet and I will close it before. How come? My screen looks like it's stopped again. I'm going to share again.
Yeah, please share.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Yeah, and please note that we have only 15 minutes, a little bit more than 15 minutes.
Okay, you still can see my screen, right?
Yes.
Okay, now I'm going to upload the bus delivery document we just prepared. So you can choose file from here, what you just saved here. Okay, it's here. Click this upload document. See, you here have a error information. It looks like I input the VIN number is wrong. So I need to double check that. And also see here, the GVWR must be a whole number. I put the unit there on purpose. So I'm now need to go back to change my file. Where's, come on. Oh, here. So I'm gonna change it. Looks like I need to double check the number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, I looks like missing one number. So we need to make sure this is 17 characters and accurate. And then we also need to change this, the GVWR. We delete the unit. Now we save it again. We'll choose that file again, open it, upload. Now it's successfully uploaded. So once this bus information is like uploaded into the system, it will add it to the bus information module to expand the bus inventory. We will take a look in a moment. But for this one, is there any questions? So if no questions, I'm going to move on to bus information module. As we mentioned before, the status of some buses in the fleet may have changed since last reporting. For example, an active bus retired several months ago. The information on this bus needs to be updated. The reporting tool provides us two ways to update the bus information. The first method is to update individual bus and is more suitable for small transit agencies who only have a few buses. The second method is more suitable for transit agencies who have many buses in the fleet. I will now show you both of them. Firstly, let's take a look at how we can update the bus information individually. From the list of the bus, first, like I say, we can say that the bus we just uploaded is already like landed here. So here, so that inventory is expanded. That's how all these modules are related. So to update the individual bus, for example, this bus has retired. We click this edit button. We get into this edit bus information page. So it changes the bus status from active to retired. And then we also need to provide the bus retired date. Okay, so this date like retired in November 23rd of 2021. And this mileage also need to be updated. Okay. This is much. And that mileage rating date, you can put like a same date as what's the retired. So now the information is updated. Now go to the bottom of this page, click this update to save the information. Now, if we look at this bus, see that status is already changed to retired. So you can click each of like applicable bus to repeat the process to update the information. Please note that after the bus is reported as retired, no future reporting is needed on this bus. Now let's take a look at how we can update the bus information in batches. Still on this same page, you can see this like annual bus status and odometer update. By clicking this, you will see two options here is download the annual update templates and upload the annual documents. So I will show you how to do this. Download this one, the same thing here. You will see, you will open the spreadsheet. I need same thing here. What's happening? This enable editing. Okay. First thing I will save this to my computer. Okay, now it's saved. Yeah, it's saved. Similarly, you may notice several things here. Say first, you may say there are 6 buses listed on this spreadsheet. This is consistent with what we just saw under the bus information module. Say you have totally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, but it's 1 is retired, so it's not listed on that bus on that list. So you have 6 buses to update. And also you can see there are 2 different colors. Again, these blue ones, you cannot do any change. It's pre-populated. And the orange ones, we need to update or fill. Column J and column K are pre-populated, but are editable. For example, okay, this, let's see, and this bus, last bus, is also retired. Now we can change this to retired. Now we need to report the retired date. Okay, this was retired in, for example, October 24th, 2021. And what's the rating of that? Okay, that's new rating, mileage rating. Sorry. And the mileage rating date, okay, the same day as the bus was retired. Oh, wrong cell, should be here. So this is updated. Then you can repeat the process to update other buses. To update all this mileage ratings. If the status changed, also need to update that. Now this is updated, we save it. We close it. Then we back to that reporting tool. We upload the annual update document. That spreadsheet we just filled. Here, select the file, open it, upload. Okay, this spreadsheet is successfully uploaded. And then you can see the last bus, the status also changed. It's the change is reflected here. So far we have completed these 3 important modules. If you encounter any issues during reporting, please refer to the guidance document. More details are provided in that document. Of course, you always can reach out to us for help. The accuracy of the data is very important.
Right. So thanks both for this portion. Before you move on, we do have some Q&As in the chat box. There are 2 groups of questions. One group is about omnibus regulation. The other group is about the demonstration that Bo just walked us through. So I'm going to be talking about the demonstration portion first. So Victor asked about odometer reading. Should we update that each year? The answer is yes, because odometer reading really gives us a lot of information about how the vehicles is used. and also how the vehicle is used over time. And that is very important for our emissions inventory calculation. And also when it comes to zero emission technologies, it also allows us to understand whether its utilization is on par with your conventional vehicles. So Bruce asked a question about bus delivery batches. If you have a one purchase order and there are multiple deliveries, do you have to report each delivery separately? Shreen has also provided answers there. No, you only have to report the last delivery just to save you some time. David also asked about if you utilize a joint procurement contract, what kind of a contract information you will have to report. Just the contract information that the contract number and also by what transit agency. So you do have a flexibility to report that kind of information in the reporting tool. Okay, so I think Jean and Shreen, is that right that those are the reporting tool related questions, right? Before we move on to the omnibus regulation exemption.
Yeah, you are correct.
Okay, excellent, thanks a lot. So David and Regina asked about some omnibus regulation related things. So this reporting tool is not going to notify us. It's not going to notify the transit agencies to remind you whether you should submit your exemption request or not. Basically, you will have to do that yourself. And as to whether you need to finish this year's reporting before you submit your application, I would recommend that you do both in parallel. We will not approve the final thing before we see you finish your reporting, but you should try to send us your exemption application package as soon as possible so we can take a look at it for you to see if you miss anything there, and then we can work with you to complete your package as soon as possible. So hopefully that answers both Regina and David's questions. Do we have any raised hands from the audience? If you haven't had the chance to put your questions into the chat box.
I don't see any.
Awesome, thank you so much, Sheree. Bo, sorry to interrupt your demonstration. Please go ahead to continue.
Okay, thank you.
Try to expedite, wrap it up. We're running out of time.
I think we have till 12 o'clock.
Yeah, we have till 12.
Yeah,
okay.
But in the meantime, please, everyone, just imagine that you have virtual coffee and donut with you.
Sorry about that. I thought that is until 11. My mistake. I apologize that.
But good time checking though. Thanks a lot, Shereen. Thanks, Bo.
Now let's take a quick look at the fuel contracts module. Again, this is only applicable to large transit agencies, okay? Most of large transit agencies had used this module last year, and there is no change on this module. The reporting is very straightforward. By getting into this module, you will be able to see the previous reported fuel contracts. Yeah, for example, this transit agency reported a fuel contract last year, 2020. To add a new contract or new fuel usage on the same contract, just click the add a new fuel contract. For example, for this year, okay, we have a new contract for 2021. Fuel contract number 1. So what is the effective date? Okay, let's see. It started from the beginning of the year. What's the expected end date? Okay, will end like end of next year. So now get it. Add. Now we can add the details of the fuel usage. For example, in 2021, we used like, again, diesel using this many, sorry, what's this? Too much. So this many gallons. They also utilize some non-renewable, so we can save it. Now this like information is added. If you get out here, you will see, oops, you will see this fuel contract is already added. So only like a transit agent only need to like report the diesel and the CNG fuels. Now let's move on to this view-only modules and go through each of them quickly. First, the bonus credits module. Staff at CARB have calculated and entered the numbers of awarded bonus credits for each applicable transit agency based on the in-service dates of the reported zero-emission buses. You may take a look at the transit agency's numbers and let us know if you feel there is any discrepancy. For more details about the use of bonus credits, please refer to the Innovative Clean Transit Regulation Implementation Guidance document, which is also available on our website, or contact us. Now let's take a look at this exemptions module. To ensure a transit agency service is not adversely impacted by the zero-emission bus purchase requirements, the ICT regulation provides zero-emission bus purchase exemption provisions for circumstances that are beyond the transit agency's control. In any given year, starting 2023, a transit agency may request exemptions from the zero-emission bus purchase requirement of that year. To qualify for an exemption, a transit agency must meet the eligibility criteria identified in the regulation and submit the required documentation to CARB. Once an exemption is granted, CARB staff will enter the number of buses that receive an exemption under each exemption category in this module. Assume we are in 2024 and reporting 2023 data. Here are the numbers CARB staff entered based on the approved exemption request. For example, this transit agency got like 3 exemptions. Two is under delay in infrastructure, and 1 is under gradability. Also, like CARB staff may upload any like supporting materials provided by transit agency. For example, the exemption request package. Transit agency can view and download this material as well. Now let's take a look at the rollout plan module. The ICT regulation requires each transit agency to submit a completed rollout plan that is approved by its governing body, showing how it plans to achieve a full transition to zero-emission buses. The due date for large transit agencies to submit the rollout plan was end of June of 2020, and all large transit agencies have submitted their rollout plans. Several small transit agencies also submitted their rollout plans. We appreciate the efforts from transit agencies. For small transit agencies, the due date to submit the rollout plan is end of June of 2023, next year. So there is a zero-emission bus rollout plan guidance for transit agencies on our website to help transit agencies prepare for the rollout plan. We also have uploaded all large transit agency rollout plans on our website to provide you some reference. Now let's take a look at what we can see on this module. On this module, we have like entered the date a transit agency's rollout plan is submitted, and along with the approved date. For example, for this transit agency, the plan submission date is April 5th, 2020, and it was approved by CARB on June 12, 2020. CARB staff, we may also upload the relevant documents like a rollout plan itself and the review results and some relevant correspondence. So transit agents can view and download as well. All right, we are now close to the finish line. Lastly, let's take a look at the last two interconnected modules, the Zero Emission Mobility Programs module and this Zero Emission Mobility Miles module. If a transit agency opts in a zero emission mobility option in lieu of making a zero emission bus purchase to comply with the zero emission bus purchase requirements, relevant information needs to be reported under these two modules. Under this zero emission mobility program module, details of the mobility programs, including their starting and the end date, and the vehicle type used to need to be provided, and the cover staff will enter such information based on the information provided by transit agency. And also, any supporting materials will be uploaded here for transit agencies to view and download. So as a mobility program is active, the participating a transit agency can report the accumulated zero emission passenger miles in another module called Zero Emission Mobility Miles module. On this module, that transit agency can enter the miles here by adding here, click this add zero mobility miles. So this year is a given, already given. So for example, this transit agency had this many vehicles and scooter passenger miles. And for bicycle, it's also have this many miles. So this system, the reporting tool will automatically calculate that the mobility credits based on the miles entered. Please note that for large transit agency, it must achieve at least 320,000 zero emission passenger miles per year to generate one mobility credit. This threshold for a small transit agency is 180,000 zero emission passenger miles per year. If the calculated a mobility credit is not a whole number, it will be rounded to the nearest integer. After we input this, we can save. Then you will see what information you added here. Again, you may find more detailed information about the zero emission mobility option in the Innovative Clean Transit Regulation Implementation Guidance document, which is available on our website. Now we have completed the introduction to all the modules for this year's reporting. Thank you all very much for your patience. I will stop here and we will together to answer the questions you may have.
Oh, thanks a lot. So we have another question from the chat box from Michelle. Michelle, you asked about the rollout plan due date for small transit agencies. It's due next year, June 30th, 2023. We will also provide an in-person rollout plan assistance session on April 19th, Tuesday, April 19th at CALACT 2022 Spring Conference. So please feel free to register with CALACT about this session. Jean, is there anything from the chat box that I have missed?
I think that's all we have right now.
Cool, thanks, Jean. Do we have any raised hand from the audience?
Didn't see any.
Okay, So as Bo mentioned that if you later come up with any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. Use ict@arb.ca.gov to reach us. That email is manned by staff daily during office hours. So we will try to get back to you soon. And for the omnibus regulation exemption package, it needs to be submitted by May 1st. And if you have any question about it, please feel free to reach out as soon as possible. We will work with you to get your package together. We want to make sure that every transit agency has a chance to purchase the vehicle you need to serve your communities. So is there maybe one more round if you still have questions?
Yeah, Chen, you may want to repeat one more time that if transit agencies have not purchased any buses in 2021, they still have to click on that box in the bus purchase module to confirm that they have not purchased any buses. They cannot just leave this blank because we would not know that they have not purchased anything.
Yes.
Yeah, it's showing here, yeah.
Yes, yeah, that is very true. And by clicking that box, you complete your annual report. Also, I want to remind everyone that HVIP is going to open on March 30th. I think, did they say 8 o'clock or 10 o'clock? Do we remember?
I think I'm not good with remembering dates. You saw it today. So
okay, so but this time we have a $65.5 million set aside for transit agencies. I believe that everybody should be able to get what you apply for. So please don't miss out this opportunity. I do believe that for fuel cell electric buses, the voucher amount is $240,000. And for battery electric buses, the voucher amount is $120,000. So please do think about your rollout plan, think about your future purchase. Anything you purchase early on can be used towards your compliance calculation later. So basically, it's not a waste of money. It's also kind of helps you gain some pilot experience before your compliance obligation starts. And from our work with a lot of transit agencies already have some pilot experience. That pilot experience is extremely invaluable. So we do encourage people to take advantage of that. So I do see one raised hand, Mike.
Hi, thanks. My question is, if we did not make any purchases in 2021, but we did receive a vehicle in 2021 that was purchased prior to 2021. So it was purchased in the purchase was made in 2020, the delivery was taking place in 2021, but the purchase was not made in 2021. Is that a no new purchase for year 2021, click this button here option? Or do I still need to, I mean, I'm clicking that there were no new purchases, but I do have to add an additional vehicle on my inventory list. Wouldn't that be correct? And there are vehicles that are going to go out of service in exchange for those. So while I would be clicking no new purchases for 2021, I do have to go into that inventory list and update the delivery of the new vehicles and the retirement of the old ones, correct?
Correct. Mike, you're absolutely correct. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
And for this, Mike, I would assume you reported that the purchase last year.
Hold on one second. No, actually, I don't think so, because the purchase actually was prior to, it wasn't purchased in 2020. It was purchased prior to 2020. I mean, we actually, I think that they entered into that contract prior to 2020, and we only received the vehicles in 2021. I'd have to go back and check to make sure, but I know that those new buses are not on the inventory list, but the ones that will be going out of service in exchange for those new vehicles are currently on that inventory list.
So I have a suggestion, because we need a transit agency to report the previous purchases. There are two ways to solve the issue. One is reporting a bus, but reporting the purchase contract, but contract effective date would be, for example, in 2019. And then you start reporting its delivery. In that way, we have the track records. That's one way to do it. But make sure you're clear with the date of contract effective date, that we clearly understand that's not a new purchase. The other solution would be how many buses are we talking about, for example?
4.
So other solution would be sharing the bus information of those buses to us. We have a way of uploading those bus information in bus information module. Transit agency do not have that option, but Corby staff has that. So see which way works better for you. So going with bus purchase, reporting the previous purchase with contract effective date, and later on reporting the information or sending the information to us. And with bus purchase, I want that everybody understand the definition of bus purchase in the ICT regulation, because it's different than transit agencies' common understanding. With bus purchase, we mean the time that you're issuing the notice to proceed. You're sending the notice proceed to the manufacturer, and we are asking for that date as a contract effective date. So in the future, whenever you're reporting a bus purchase, that's the number you have to use.
So Mike, if you decided to report this 4 buses by yourself, just you still can see my screen, right?
Yes.
You just go to this bus purchase module, click here, then basically to add a bus purchase. So you can follow that guidance document, how to do it, as I already walked you through here. So after this is reported, the bus will be entered into the system. So now you can go to this newly delivered buses, then download the spreadsheet to input the bus information of these 4 buses, then upload it back to the system. Then the bus will land onto this bus information like a module. Did I explain clearly? Or?
Yeah, I think so. And again, I have to go back and look at the information that's inputted. I mean, I may be asking a question that's not, I mean, hopefully it's helpful to anybody else that may be in the situation. And I may not actually be in that situation myself. I have to go back and look at it. But I know that we took delivery of some vehicles at the end of 2021, like in December of 2021. Mm-hmm. And they, I don't believe, are on the current inventory list.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, just let us know if we need any help, just contact us.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, great. Thanks a lot, Bo and Shireen. And Mike, if you still have additional questions, feel free to reach out to us. So in the chat box, we got some requests from David and Michelle wondering if you are unable to attend CalAct Spring Conference, is there any way that we could provide a virtual presentation about roll-out plan assistance? The answer is absolutely yes. So I think based on the amount of requests, we may be thinking about doing one for individual transit agencies, or I think maybe if we get enough interest, we probably will do an open webinar so that everyone can attend and also get that experience. And before the webinar, we will also ask you to prepare a few things so that so that during the tutorial, you can quickly plug in your information there. And those will also provide those list of information we would like you to bring to the webinar, such as your fleet mix, your regular purchase schedule, stuff like that. And also currently we do have a raw outline guidance document posted on our website. I don't know if Shireen or Jean, you are able to maybe post that link here as well. And some large transit agencies use that guidance document as a template. They found that was very, very helpful. So we would strongly encourage you to also take a look at that. And also, yes, Regina, of course, we want to provide all assistance we could about the raw outlines. We don't think the raw outline is a technicality for you to send it to us. We do want to use this to provide an opportunity for the entire community and also transit agencies, including your board member, to really think about the future. What's the best way to deploy zero emission technologies? Because it's really not just like you convert from a flip phone to a smartphone. It's a way more than that. So it is more than just buying 1C or 2C. We want some careful planning goes into our long-term deployment so that we can have good success. And the thanks, Shireen. Shireen has already posted the raw outline guidance document. Oh, both Shireen and Jean did that. Thank you so much. And also, David, you also mentioned that you're hoping that the reporting tool can assist the omnibus regulations exemption further. So far, we had a plan in the reporting tool is that because the omnibus regulation also requires that once you receive the exemption, once you receive the vehicles, you have to start reporting for that portion as well. So ICTRT will facilitate that part. You can basically update your bus information there. As to whether it can remind you that you need to apply for an exemption, I'm sorry that at this point we are unable to do that. For one of the reasons is that some people may actually need to submit their purchase order and get the bus within the same year or in a very timely manner. So if we rely on ICTRT to give you a reminder, it won't really accommodate that. So we really want to give the flexibility and the autonomy to transit agencies. And Daryl, you asked another question about when is the next reporting cycle going to be. So the regulation says that the reporting deadline is March 31st of each year. Unfortunately, last year and this year, because we're still under the development of this reporting tool, so we were kind of forced, had no choice to open the reporting period later and also close it late. So just to remind everyone that this year, the reporting website is going to open through Friday, July 1st. So please do submit everything to us before you go on take your July 4th vacation. And the next year, we're hoping to open the website right after New Year, so that we could get into a normal and fixed scheduled reporting cycle. Hopefully that answers your question. Jean, did I miss any questions from the chat box?
Not really.
Okay, thanks a lot, Jean.
Oh, I think we have the last question. It's for the zero emission program. If we don't have anything other than buses, is there any required documents that need to be included in this module?
Oh, okay. So the zero emission mobility program basically is an opt-in program. You don't have to opt in if you don't plan on doing that. And if you are not in a program like that, you have nothing to report. Just leave that alone. Okay, do we have any raised hand from the audience?
Didn't see any.
Okay, so I guess staff did a great job demonstrating and also answering questions today. And so I really want to thank staff for your hard work here and also for your constant dedication to our transit community. Also, I want to thank all the audience participation, all of your participation today. This is a wonderful Friday morning. We know that you do have other things better to do, but we appreciate you being here with us. More than that, I want to thank all the transit agency for your care and the consideration into deploying zero emission technologies. We understand that this is not an easy undertaking, and we understand that you need a lot of resources, but we also want to let you know that we are here to discuss with you for all the issues that you may or have encountered so that we can work together to address them. So,
yeah, Chen, the last question, will this be recorded and posted on the CARP website?
Yes, this is being recorded and the recording will be available on CARP website within maybe a week or two.
So yeah, maybe you explained that the website is not yet complete, the ICTRT, and we continue developing it in the future?
Yes, we continue to develop new modules, especially starting next year, 2023. For large transit agencies, the zero emission bus purchase requirement will start. So the main feature we're going to add to the next reporting cycle is going to be the compliance calculation module. And the staff will start testing that module in April. So, and we want to wish everyone a great reporting year and also another great year to overcome all the challenges ahead of us. Every challenge presents an opportunity, I think. So we all good?
I have one more thing to mention regarding the frequently asked questions that we have received so far. One of the issues with the actual account creation and login, sometimes transit agencies, when they try to register, the verification emails that they receive are blank. So in 99.9% of the cases, the issue is with the transit agency server blocking the ARB verification email. So if that's the case, you're receiving a blank verification email, the first thing you have to do is contacting your IT team and telling them to remove the verification emails from blocking list. You can also contact me and we are sending you the exact verification email if your IT team needs, but that's most of the case, the issue. So you have to contact your own IT team to solve the issue.
Yes, that's a wonderful reminder. Thanks a lot, Shree. So any other questions? If not, I want to thank everyone, and also everyone, you have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy the beautiful weather. Thanks a lot.
Awesome.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.